I told you this could happen. Hell, we have been talking about it here on the channel all season. At some point, it was bound to catch up with the NFL. For decades, this league has been damn near invincible. You guys remember the concussion scandal where the mainstream media tried to destroy the NFL by claiming that the league didn't care about their players? The NFL, they treated the concussion scandal like it was a flea on the Lizzo's ass. The scandal was a big deal to the wanker spankers in the mainstream media, but NFL fans, they couldn't have cared less. 5 years ago, when it seemed like every professional sports league was enjoying the warm embrace of the woke wiener, when it seemed like every league was joining the fight against mythical racism, ratings for the NBA plummeted, Major League Baseball went through a steep decline. Ironically enough, the WNBA actually benefited from it. They didn't really have the audience to lose. The dumps simply gained free publicity by preaching the good word and spreading the woke faith. Now, even though the NFL quietly participated in Woke Bath Wednesday, where the entire congregation gathers together for their weekly bath, Roger Goodell never fully embraced the faith. In the NFL, they were one of the only leagues that did not suffer a ratings decline. The only thing that I can think of that's had a negative impact on the NFL, it was when Colin Kaepernick traded in his helmet for a set of knee pads and started kneeling for the national anthem. Believe it or not, and I know it doesn't seem like it, but that was almost 10 years ago. Not only has the NFL fully recovered from those declines, they've actually managed to grow their audience until this season. NFL ratings declined by 2% this past season, which doesn't really seem like much, and it would have been far worse if the local games, the local broadcasts didn't carry the NFL this season. Most of the national windows saw big declines, but even when you're talking about a 2% decline. When you're talking about 18 to 20 million people in the audience, 2% is a decent sized number. The ratings declines continued through the playoffs, with the wild card round falling almost 10%, while some games in the divisional round lost 3-4 million viewers. And now, ticket prices for the Super Bowl are falling faster than panties on prom night. The question is, why? As you guys know, deacons at Woke United Methodist, they are pissed off right now with the eradication of diversity, equity, and inclusion. But one thing the media often overlooks conveniently when they're incessantly whining about mythical oppression and diversity is value. The media wants to place value in race. They want to place value in gender, or in some cases, chosen gender. The media wants to value pronouns. If you choose he, him pronouns, we'll let you work the cash register for minimum wage. But if you choose they, them pronouns, you're qualified to be a heart surgeon. In the real world, your value is not determined by race and gender. Your value is determined by the quality of what you're providing and what someone else is willing to pay for it. I'm sure you guys have noticed the new decorative piece on the shelf behind me here. While we were out of town a couple of weeks ago, my wife obviously wanted to go shopping and she found an antique shop. Now, I had never been to an antique shop before. I don't do much shopping, but this place was amazing. They had all kind of shit that you can't find anywhere else. I bought the item behind me while we were there. It's an original program from Super Bowl 6 from 1972. Mint condition. I still got the plastic around it because I'm afraid to touch it. I paid, I think it was around $100 for it. To me, it was well worth $100. To you, it may be worth $200. Hell, it might be worth $2. The true value of the Super Bowl program behind me is what someone else is willing to pay for it. Same thing with Super Bowl tickets. The NFL can claim that tickets to the Super Bowl are worth $10,000 a piece, but the tickets are only worth what people are willing to pay for them. And this year, they're not worth much. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Angelic Imports. If you're anything like me, you have no idea that Valentine's Day is right around the corner. You know when I know it's Valentine's Day? When I wake up that morning and my wife says, "Happy Valentine's Day." My day starts with panic as I spend the morning riding around the city looking for a gift, but I don't have to panic or waste my time this year because I have already ordered her Valentine's gift from Angelic Imports. Angelic Imports provides high-quality Gouffre chocolate that comes directly from the French, Swiss, and German border areas. I ordered my wife the Gouffre round, which includes 65 pieces for around $40, but you can get the Gouffre Golden Secrets for less than $20, and it comes with 20 pieces of chocolate. And this is not your gas station candy. This is some of the best chocolate that you'll ever taste. Don't get caught unprepared this Valentine's Day. Click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL10. Save 10% off your first purchase with Angelic Imports. Before the championship games in the AFC and the NFC, the cheapest tickets for the Super Bowl were going for around $6,500 a piece. Once the matchup was set, which is a rematch from 2 years ago, same teams, same head coaches, same quarterbacks. Once the matchup was set between the Chiefs, or as Billy Plaschke at the LA Times prefers to call them, the Guardians. Once the matchup was set between the Guardians and the Eagles, ticket prices dropped 60%. If you bought tickets to the Super Bowl on Monday, you would have spent a little less than $4,000. As of this morning, some tickets were going for as low as $2,500 a piece. Last year, the cheapest ticket, $5,400. The question is, why? Now, some are blaming the economy. Some are claiming that people just can't afford to go to the Super Bowl this year, but I ain't buying it. For starters, the economy was in worse shape last year when tickets were selling for twice the price. Inflation was worse last year and the year before than it is this year. Some are blaming the location and the hotel prices in New Orleans. Hotel prices fluctuate in New Orleans on a daily, weekly basis. Some weeks you can get a nice room for $200 a night. During Mardi Gras, you're paying double or triple that number. This week, though, hotel rooms in New Orleans, they have been going for thousands of dollars a night. According to Front Office Sports, hotel prices are 8 times their normal rate. Hotels in New Orleans for the Super Bowl this week, they are the most expensive in the last 3 decades. Now, compared to cities like Las Vegas, Miami, Los Angeles, New Orleans isn't exactly a desirable location. Trust me, it is tough to spend a full week in New Orleans. There's only 2 things to do in New Orleans: eat, drink. In your 20s, it's great, but as you get older, it's just not as appealing. When you're approached by a toothless hooker on Bourbon Street in your 20s, it's exciting. It's a funny story. If you're approached by a toothless hooker in your 40s, you're wondering what diseases they're carrying and whether or not they are hiding a surprise in that tuck-friendly bathing suit. Most people are blaming fatigue as the reason for the decline in prices. They're claiming that NFL fans are tired of watching Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They are tired of seeing the Chiefs win. They're tired of seeing the Chiefs dominate the league. This is a common excuse anytime there is a dynasty. But if you look at the numbers, dynasties are actually good for professional sports. Think about it. What era of the NBA do people reminisce about the most? The 90s Bulls. Last decade, the Warriors dynasty delivered the strongest ratings in the NBA that they have seen since the Bulls in the 90s. The Lakers in the late 90s, early 2000s, Tom Brady and the Patriots, the Cowboys in the 90s, the Yankees in Major League Baseball. Even though fans often complain about dynasties, they usually watch them. They usually don't mind paying top dollar to experience history in person. I don't think Chiefs fatigue is the sole reason, the primary reason for the decline. And just to be clear, I think ratings for the Super Bowl this year are going to be low. Reason being, I think people are starting to lose interest in the NFL. Think about it. What has been the dominant story in sports media this week? The Luka Doncic trade. Not only that, the NBA trade deadline, it has dominated the entire week. We are 5 days into Super Bowl week, and the NFL, they have barely been mentioned, barely been talked about. When the hell's the last time that happened? When is the last time that the NBA took the spotlight away from the NFL? Usually, it's the other way around. Usually, Roger Goodell is emasculating Adam Silver as he takes away every day on the calendar from the NBA and laughs while doing so. But this week, the NBA has dominated the conversation. I believe the lack of interest in the Super Bowl, it's been building all season. If you have been following this channel, you know I have been complaining about the quality of play in the NFL all season. Hell, I have been complaining about the decline in quality of play for the past 2 years now. Combine that with the fact that the integrity of the league is being questioned, and you have a recipe for disaster. Most people don't believe the Chiefs belong in the Super Bowl. There's a lot of people who believe that the NFL intentionally put them there. I think a lot of people are tired of Kelsey Travis and his love story with the Swiffer. Look at me! I'm getting married and becoming a Swiftie! Yippee! I think people are pissed off because they believe Josh Allen and the Bills got screwed over. And once the integrity of your league is questioned, it is extremely hard to overcome that. A lot of people think it's a foregone conclusion that the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. And if that's the case, there's no reason to watch it. And there's damn sure no reason to pay thousands of dollars for tickets to see it in person. Give me your reason. Why are ticket prices for the Super Bowl so low? Will the ratings on television match the low prices? I think we're going to see multi-year lows for the Super Bowl this year. I cannot remember the last time there has been this little anticipation. But you tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.